Alright y'all, so in today's video, I'm going to give you every possible aspect of aiming on a controller I could possibly think of. From the physical aspect of how you hold your controller, how you move your sticks, your sensitivity, to the mental aspect, how you should be thinking when you take gunfights, the different types of gunfights and how you should react. Anything I can possibly think of. Now, as somebody that's been playing for about 6 years and only Siege for about 3 years, I have learned a lot. And I had to learn all this shit by myself, so I hope I can help you guys out today and get ahead. Now, to answer the #1 most asked question anybody that plays this game makes content on, what's your sense, bro? How do I find my sense? What's a good sense? There is not a day that goes by where that question is not asked in my TikTok comments, in my Twitch comments, in my YouTube comments. It is the most asked question. And it's honestly getting annoying at this point, bro. I see it every day. I am here to tell you that your sense does not matter. Copying others' sense will not help you. And let me tell you why. I used to play on 4100, 4981. And to many people, this is like an outrageous sense. You would never use something so high. This is not a good sense, but I'm bringing it up because I used to have some of the best aim on the game on this sense. And the point I'm trying to make is your sense does not matter. What matters is, can you be good with it? Now, how to be good with a wonky sense like this? If you prefer it, you like the high sense, you like the flicks, it just comes down to practice and staying consistent. Now, I'm sure you already know that, so I'm gonna teach you how to practice to get good on whatever sense you choose and feel comfortable on, which not everybody knows. I'm gonna be going over my practice regimen that I used to do every day before free-for-all came out, of course. But even still, this is still a very effective way to warm up your aim. I would do a series of T-hunts and I would approach each T-hunt differently. Now in this first T-hunt, I will show you exactly how I warmed up. So as I'm saying, in the first T-hunt, I take this one as if I'm stuck in ADS mode. I do not come out of ADS unless I have to reload. And I do this because usually I'm fresh on the game, I haven't played all day or all night, and I'm not used to my ADS sense. And this basically boosts up the speed at which I warm up my ADS sensitivity and get used to cutting corners, hitting flicks, all of that. I found this much more efficient than just running and gunning in TNs to warm up. Practice cutting my corners, practice my quick peeks. Just the main thing is do not come out of ADS. Even if you have to do a 180, you stay in and you just swing, and it really, really speeds up the process in getting used to your ADS sense. Now, once you have followed that T-hunt format a couple times, used a 1x, a 1.5, a 2x, warmed up on all the sites, you're gonna move into phase 2. Now in phase 2 is when you start to take the T-hunt like it's a real game, fighting real enemies. And basically what I'm saying is, don't think you're fighting bots. Think you're trying to swing a real player that actually shoots back. Now, what you don't want to do is just walk around willy-nilly shooting the enemies. I want you to take this seriously. So basically that means when you're swinging at an enemy, you take it like it's a real gun. Practicing your quick peeks, checking every corner. Make sure your positioning is as if you were in game. You want to be focusing on your crosshair placement a lot. Make sure you're going for those first shot headshots. Take it as if it's a real gunfight. Once you have warmed up in the first 2 phases, this third one is optional, but I really like to do it because it's fun, and also I love hitting flicks. What I do is I'll have intentionally bad crosshair placement just so I could flick on the T-hunt bots. And as you can see from years of practice, I'm pretty damn accurate at doing it. And it's honestly really fun. And in games, when you hit these kinds of shots, it's fucking exciting, bro. You're like, oh, clip it, put it on TikTok. It's just really fun. So yeah, that's just another third thing you can do. Practice your flicks. Now, the second most asked question I get is usually about what kind of controller I use, if elites are worth it, if paddles are worth it. And in this situation, it is undoubtedly a yes. I use the eSwap Pro controller, and let me go over why a pro controller such as this one has such an advantage over a normal controller. Now, without a doubt, the biggest plus to using the eSwap Pro controller is the ability to remove the thumbsticks entirely. No more getting stick drift and having to drop an insane amount of money on a new controller when I could just get a new one for about 20 bucks, plop it in, and boom, it's ready to go. Works instantly. And there's even different sizes that comes with the eSwap Pro controller, so if you don't like a certain thumbstick, you could swap it out for a different feel. Now, as you can see, they come completely out of the controller, and you can just swap them instantaneously, mid-game if you have to. It works automatically. Once they are both plugged in, boom, look at that. I can move my controller, and it just works instant. Now, another benefit over the normal Xbox controller with the eSwap Pro is it's actually a lot thicker than the average Xbox controller, which is one of my issues. Was an Xbox controller is just way too damn skinny for my hands, whereas this one, it fits in the palm of my hand. It's really snug, and it just has a better feel and just a better build to it. It just fits your hand a lot more comfortably. Another thing I like about this controller is the buttons are actually a lot more sturdy than a normal controller. They are built to blast. Now, another thing I love about the eSwap Pro controller is instead of paddles, it has buttons on the back. And in my opinion, paddles get in the way a lot of the times. They're a bit too bulky, a bit too in the way of my grip. So the buttons is a lot better for me, and it's just a lot easier to manage and not misclick. Now, if you are looking for a competitive edge in your game, and of course on a game like Rainbow Six Siege, where you play cheaters daily using mouse and keyboard, something like this will really come in handy and even out the playing field. Now, moving on to the mental aspect of aiming and tracing and recoil, all of that. When it comes to in-game, you want to get to a point where you don't have to think about these things. You just simply do them, and you focus more on what's the best play to make. Just try to read the enemy instead of focusing so much on your mechanics. The second you start being able to just do these mechanics without thinking about them, you don't got to think about no recoil, no tracing, no none of that. Basically, you want to go ultra instinct like motherfucking Goku, bro. Your gameplay will skyrocket. I know a lot of the lower ranks tend to have this issue where they have to actually think about these things. I'm at the point where I just simply do it, and then my mental is more focused on the best play. It's gonna take some time, it's gonna take some practice, but trust me, you will achieve greatness once you learn how to be able to do all this stuff without thinking about it. And of course, to do this, you have to be practicing all the time, and you have to stay on a consistent sense. So you learn this sense, and it's basically all just muscle memory. No thinking about it, just doing it. I don't know who quoted that. Don't think, just do. I think it was like Mr. Miyagi or some super smart Asian dude. But yeah. Alright, so now that we got mastering Ultra Instinct out of the way, I'm going to move on to positioning and how to learn good positioning. A good rule of thumb to know if your angle and your positioning is terrible is if you're the enemy, would you check this spot? Would you pre-fire? Would you expect someone to be here? And if the answer is yes, then it's probably a terrible angle and you need to move your ass to a different angle. I also have a quick tip on crosshair placement. A lot of people aim a bit too high or a bit too low. I tend to try to focus on the upper chest or the chin area because in this game, you're on a controller, there's going to be a bit of recoil. So if you're aiming upper chest to chin level, I try to focus on the bottom of the face. And on that first shot, if you don't hit that first shot headshot, immediately crouch and shoot towards the body. As you can see me doing here, I always crouch once and I always aim head level, and it starts to aim towards the body after the first shot for the most part. I mean, there's exceptions every single time, of course, but that's basically how I take gunfights is aim for the chest to the chin. First bullet doesn't hit the head, aim for the body, and just try to get as many body shots off as possible. Alright, y'all, so that concludes the video. I hope you guys learned something. Once again, be sure to check out the eSwap Pro controller. A link will be in the description. It is also available at Walmart. Shout out to Thrustmaster for sponsoring this video. Peace out, y'all.